Back for my boys.
Oh yeah, go ahead and do that. Yeah, show that, show that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah, we live Philly Red Zone. We here, we warming up. Uh, Antoine gonna join us in a second, and
Okay,
we're
good
gonna
deal,
we're gonna
man.
allow the yeah we're gonna allow the
Yep.
view. We're gonna Antoine gonna join us in a second. Yep, there we go. Got that delay. Yeah, it's working. Okay, we
All
out there.
right,
But
all right.
yeah,
Let's go.
we're gonna allow the some of the viewers to trickle on in
Mm-hmm.
and do it like that. But yeah, show that Philly red zone, man, because we gotta talk about the Eagles. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
man. Hey, 2 wins away from glory, baby. 2 wins away.
saying? So we're gonna dive into it, but I already know who you predicting, but we still gotta get
Oh
to the
yeah.
why.
Oh
We
yeah,
gotta get to
yeah,
the why,
yeah.
you
We get
know.
to the why and all that good stuff, man. You know.
Yeah, so you're a long time Eagle fan, so
Oh yeah,
I know
no
this
doubt.
is I know this is another meaningful moment for you guys, man.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
It's been a eventful season, man. For the most
yeah,
part. I
that's
was.
crazy because you know what? Early in the season, remember, you guys played the Falcons. That's my son's
Mm-hmm.
team.
Yep.
And Atlanta went up there to play you guys, and they won. Like it was late in the game, whatever, but they still got the win. And it just, for some reason, it kind of felt like Philly might be just a little bit off. But now, of course, it was early in the year. But to look at it now and look the way you guys are, man, it's like you're in prime position. You're able to host a game to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of like the uh poetic moment. I mean, because that Atlanta loss, the way it's not the fact that they lost, it's how they lost. You
Yeah,
had the game in hand, and they took their foot off the gas. I mean, and we all know in football, when you go to prevent, it prevents you from winning, and that's what happened. I mean, Kirk Cousins, drove down the field and won the
yeah,
game. And the
and
crazy thing, you fast forward to the game last week against the Rams, and Stafford almost did the same thing, man. You talking about, oh
oh
man, my
boy,
heart was in my feet, bro.
hey man, it was setting up. It was looking like like it just felt like things like for Philly kick field goals instead of scoring a touchdown. It was like wow, the numbers are lining up for them to have just one drive to get the
Yep.
lead just right at the end to kind of
Yeah.
ruin things.
Yeah,
If
man. I
you're
mean,
Philly fans.
yeah, and I
Missing
mean, our
extra
kicker,
points. Missing
yeah, our
extra
kicker.
points.
Yep. Yep. That's what
Yeah,
did it.
that
You
too,
missed them.
Twan.
Those two extra points with what made that game interesting.
That's the game. Yeah,
You
that's the
hit you
difference
hit
in the
those
game.
two you hit those two extra points. That last drive is nothing because they still be down by two, and you
Hmm.
walk off. You
Yeah,
recover the known onside kick, and you go
right,
home. Victorious.
right,
Thirty
right,
one
right,
31
right.
29. I mean, you know,
And I remember my dad posting, texting that, field goal kicker missed them kicks. And
yeah,
then, but I also was thinking like the kicker did make some good field goals too, though,
yeah. He put up
throughout the
10
night.
points. He had 10
Yeah,
points on the night. So I mean, I can't crucify him. I mean,
yeah,
it was just
Yeah,
one of those things, man.
yes, you can, Philly. You can't
Uh,
crucify him because he's your. First of all, that's your team, and you don't
yeah,
miss extra points. I'm just like now. If you get a penalty and you bagged up 15 yards and you missed that, was that like a 35-yard field goal?
yeah.
yeah,
For extra point. Hey, that one, or what I'm saying, whether it hits you 35, 40 yards for that field goal, then hey, but you're at home, you're kicking in your stadium. You ain't got no business missing no extra points in a playoff game.
Yeah, no, no, I totally agree, and that was an excusable, but at the same time, it was just like, you know what, he got to get better, man. He got to tighten up. This ain't the first time, I mean, he did the same thing in the Packers game where
Yeah,
yeah,
he missed field goals, and
yeah.
although
yeah,
that game, the defense knuckled up and only gave up 10 points. I mean, that could have came back to, bite him. So he got to figure out where he's going wrong. when he's planting, how he's hitting the ball, his angles, whatever the case may be. Yeah, he got to figure that out, man. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, I can go back to the 22 Super Bowl, man. We had punter issues, and the punter kicked the ball to Kadarius Toney, and that play right there, you know, pretty much changed the trajectory.
Changed
And
the whole game.
yep,
You're right.
and that was it, man.
Changed the
You know,
whole
Yeah.
game.
yeah.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That is wild.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop a line out here just in case anybody that's out here watching, they want to jump in. Uh, there we go. Shout out Global. What is it? Uh, PGL. Do you see the comments out there?
Oh yeah.
Randy.
Yes, sir.
All
Okay.
right.
Weather was a
Yeah.
factor. Yeah.
Yeah. His feet were cold.
Yeah. No
So-
excuse. No
oh
excuse.
boy. Hey man. Hey, speaking of excuses, we talk about this Lamar Jackson thing, man. We gotta,
Oh man.
that's gonna be an interesting conversation, guys, in
Yeah,
a
I
minute.
got feelings on that one.
Hey, fellas. When we talk, no, look, that's one thing that you go back to certain coaches and certain things. And as much as we may or may not like Nick Saban, the two things that he did not invest in, and even Bobby Bowden, they did not like punters and they did not like kickers because they didn't feel they were real football players. But
Mhm.
you got with the literal sense of a field goal kicker is you have one job.
Mhm.
One
You ain't
job.
gotta tackle nobody. You ain't gotta cover nobody. You ain't gotta hit nobody. You ain't gotta throw the ball nowhere. You literally have the job of doing what you do. Practice, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the same thing. I mean, practice.
Mhm.
This is what you practice every
Yep.
single day when
Yep.
everybody is out there running and doing all the other things. Like your job is to make kicks. I mean, you are a professional football player. Whether
Yep.
like you say, that is a thing too. You're a professional football player.
Mm-hmm.
You get
Mm-hmm.
paid millions of dollars to kick a football.
Yep.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like your feet were cold. No, sir. We got $1 million worth of technology. Your feet ain't cold.
No. 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 Them heated. Them
You're
heated.
not. Your
Hey
feet
man.
aren't cold. No. There's,
Yeah.
Hey.
and
He gonna be
again,
good though.
and again, I can understand sometimes kickers in a different stadiums where you don't get, but like, you get pregame to practice in that stadium. Maybe in some of these championship games, they'll let you go out there like that Saturday and get like a feel of the field. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
this is your home turf. This is
Mhm.
He could go out there
Yep.
right now. It's 8:47. He could go out there right now, get everything that he needed as a kicker,
Mm-hmm.
and do your job. You know what I'm saying? But and we want to put the pressure on those guys, and like I said, but I've read something here lately, and it says that pressure is a privilege.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
is
I like
it's
that.
a pressure is a privilege. People don't put pressure on somebody that they can't depend on, or they don't think that they can do their job. And like you say, man, I sat back when he missed he missed that first one, and I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And then they came back and scored and took the lead, and I'm like, damn, you just gave the lead up in the game because of an extra point. I'm like,
Yep.
y'all, it's not like y'all kicked 2 field goals to be up 13, you know what I'm saying, to 13-7. You should be 14-14.
Mhm.
And
Hey,
I'm gonna let, I know we got to go on to other stuff. I'm gonna let that go, but it's like you
yeah.
say, the game is what we say, all those cliches. It's a game of inches. It's a mind over matter. The
Mhm.
whole deal, man. But like when you get out and you look at some of the guys like Adam Vinatieri and what was the other kicker for the Patriots after
Hmm.
Vinatieri left?
I don't know. He kicked for so long. I
I
can't
know.
remember what they had.
No,
Yeah.
because they, Vinatieri did them for a while. Then he left. He
He went
went
to the Colts for a minute.
to the
Yeah.
Colts, and he helped them out. But the kicker after him, oh God! But he
We'll
kicked and
find
hit
him.
a couple. Oh,
I said, we'll find him.
but he kicked and hit a couple of, what I'm saying,
Mhm.
like some pressure field goals to win games. And so it's
Mhm.
like, to
Oh,
like you said,
Steven Gostkowski.
yeah, the minutia of the game comes down sometimes to, like you say, look, how are we gonna play our game?
Mhm.
How are we gonna play the game that we want to play? We want to play it close because guess what? We got a ringer as a kicker. You know what I'm saying? We're not
Yeah.
worried about it. We're not worried about a 48, 49, 50-yard kicker.
Right.
That's one thing about the Chiefs, and I'm gonna let it go real quick. But when they had
Mhm.
Butker,
Yep.
48, 49, 50, 51, 52, if we can get him somewhere near that, we
Mhm.
good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like they're not worried about, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have to get to the 20-yard line to win the game. We can get our kicker at the damn 35 and we done won this game. We walking
Well,
off.
Mhm.
that's
And
some
so like,
luxury that some teams have. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
That's some luxury that they have.
it is. But the thing is, and like I say, I just let it go. Is the fact that some of the times, like you say, we kind of push push that stuff to the side. Like you say, you miss a point here, a point there. But like you say,
Right.
when we're looking at that game last week, everything went down for the Rams. Like if they finna win the game because your field goal kicker missed 2 extra points. Not because
Yeah.
not because he missed a 53-yard field goal, but
Yeah.
he missed 2 extra points.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
keep him alive. It kept him alive in that. But hey, I want to give a quick shout out here to Yavuz for tuning in, man. Big shout out to Yav. Uh,
Yep. Hey, what's up?
huge Eagles fan.
Hey,
Huge
yeah.
Eagle fan. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? He's a humongous Eagles fan. So he definitely is got an ear out to hear what's going to be said about the conference, the AFC and NFC, especially the NFC Championship. I know he wants to hear what you guys have to say about that. And
Yes.
by the way, speaking of voices, the voice you were just hearing there talking about the kickers, that's Antoine. He's stepping into the building.
Hey,
And
Mr. Antoine.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
Antoine.
We in the building. Hey, man, I finna say I've been on with Mr. 411. Me and him been back since Kendrick days. Y'all don't know what Kendrick at, but we've been at this old place in high school. And every time I get on here, man, Philly Red Zone is always he's a smart brother, man.
I appreciate that.
He's articulate.
How
He's a smart brother, man. And like
much
some
you
of the
paying
times
him, Philly?
we like to, like we like to undermine things, man. When you're articulate and you can say what you're saying and people can comprehend it from a Rhodes Scholar to the joker on the street.
Yes,
That
Yeah.
sir.
is a gift. That's a gift, man. And I like to hear you. I just like to hear every time we on here, man. I hear you talk, and it's you easy to listen to, man. You
Oh
easy to
Yeah.
man,
listen
thank
to,
you.
brother. You real
Appreciate
easy
that.
to listen
Thank
to.
you. Wow.
Hey man, Philly
Thank
Red
you.
Zone, there it is. All right. Well, hey guys, let's go ahead and do it then, since we already started talking about the Eagles
All
in the
right.
previous round. They're surviving the Rams. The other team that survived was the Bills over the Ravens, and then
Ravens,
also
yeah.
the Chiefs, and then the Chiefs over Houston, man. So
Yeah.
uh, let's get to the championship rounds, man.
All right.
We got the Chiefs and the Bills. So let's go around the horn, man. Who you got? Chiefs, Bills. Let's go,
Ooh.
Philly.
All right. Well, I looked at this game. Conventional wisdom would have it, everybody just gonna pick the Chiefs. And, part of me is like they're in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
They have the refs, they have the crowd, they have the history of
He's he's he slid that one in now. Yeah, he got the refs. Yeah, they got the refs.
you know.
He slid that one in.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the Bills getting past the Ravens at home in the fashion that they won that game. I think they have a little momentum that they can carry to Arrowhead and be competitive, and to the point to where if they don't make the one mistake that everyone goes in the Arrowhead and make, they can come out that game victorious. I mean, Josh Allen is going to have to play a flawless, error-free game on the offensive side, and that defense is going to have to pretty much be like a goalie in hockey and stand on their heads. They're going to have to be assignment sound, understand what they're seeing, also, playing Mahomes to a different way to where he's not accustomed. You hit him when you can hit him, but you don't give that middle of the field up to Kelsey. Kelsey is a very unorthodox tight end. You do not run routes that they draw up on the board and you run 5 in and cut and turn around. No, he'll run 15, turn around, do a loop one side, loop another side, and then create his own play. and Mahomes, it's like they playing backyard football. So, I mean, if you look at the Texans game when they played the Texans did a masterful job on Kelsey early when they when they went manned up on the outside, because you got Xavier Worthy and you have a Hollywood Brown on the outside. They manned up on the outside and they played zone on the inside, and that slowed Mahomes down. And they kind of switched up the coverage to where he couldn't really decipher what was going on fast enough, and then those ends was able to get to him and get a couple sacks on him. But then, the one play, they brought the safety down on trying to do a safety blitz, opened that middle of the field, 47 yards to Kelsey. It's like, why did you deviate from what you guys were doing? So I think the Bills, if they take a plan out of D'Amico Ryan's defensive playbook and do that against the Chiefs, they can get out of that game. I'll say 34-31 Bills. Boom, there you go.
Ooh. Okay. And I'm going with the Bills. You gave a whole bunch of detailed reasons as to why. And I feel like Buffalo. I just think, man, they had to crack at the apple. They had a crack at the apple.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, Mr. 411. Mr. 411, this your show, so I'm gonna let you end it. And so I'm gonna let you end this little part, but I'm finna go a little opposite of what you guys are thinking. Real quick. First, oh god dang, I had the word that you hit me with earlier. Philly
Who hit you with me? Oh, Philly did.
Philly hit us when he was describing the game. He hit us with something, and I should have just wrote it down because did he say egregious or something? He said something. I was like, there you go. See, he using the words, man. He be using them words.
Big words, man. He got it ain't big words,
but he uses the right words, man. He hits you with the words and be like, that's what I want to say, but I couldn't figure out what it is I wanted to say. But he hit you. So my thing with if they were playing this game in Buffalo, I would give them a chance.
Okay. Did you say refs? Is that what you were trying to say?
No, not necessarily the refs, but Josh Allen still has he still has the he has the little boy. You know what I'm saying? Like he still has he can't beat Mahomes in Arrowhead. I just don't believe in him there. I just don't believe. I don't believe he believes in himself enough. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe he believes in himself enough. Now, was that earlier this year when they lost that game, when they were talking about like the offsides and they did all that nonsense? Wasn't that this year? When they played, so. When they, Mahomes made all the big fuss about, you can't make that call, and then, but now
I remember that game. I'm trying to remember if it was the Buffalo or not, but I remember
that was against Buffalo. That was against, it was against Buffalo, and that was the thing. Like, the receiver lines up off sides, and they make, they go in. And he said, "Man, we're just supposed to have it on the field." He said. and he said this because I saw that, and he said, yeah, the guy's a little offsides, but how many times do quarterbacks say hi hut and get defensive guys off the side
And they
off,
jump. Yeah.
like that? Your guy failed your team. Call that what it was. Your receiver did not do his job, because all he ever has to do is look over at the referee and they'll tell you whether you offsides or not. Like, that's a free give me.
Right.
If you offsides, they'll tell you to back, they'll tell you to back up. And so
why you got the Chiefs?
So that's I got the Chiefs,
because
but that's neither here nor there. But real
Josh
quick,
Allen?
I just don't believe
because of Josh Allen? Okay.
Yeah, because I don't believe Josh Allen believes that he can beat Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead. I just don't believe that he believes that. Now, if they call the game that I think that they need to call is a game where you kind of like this national championship game that happened. You put a lot more quarterback runs in some spots where you think you should be throwing the ball and throw things off. Where Josh Allen is a capable runner.
I like where you're going with that.
11 on 11, he is a factor in the game. You know what I'm saying? Not with just his arms, but with the fact that he's a big physical running quarterback. He can take hits. And he can, he can do certain things out there on the field. So that's the one thing. If Buffalo calls a game that allows him to run the ball and act, like I say, design runs, put him in situations where he's running the ball, and
But Furnace, that's where I'm with it on it in favor of Buffalo is that like Josh Allen only threw for 124 yards last week. It wasn't like he had a superb passing game, but it's just the timing of the runs. The defense did well. And basically in that last week, it was about the team that had 3 turnovers versus the team that had none. But I think if they run the ball more, because Josh Allen, if you close your eyes, he's Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? He's a Cam Newton type running quarterback. So I would utilize that in this winner take all type situation. And by the way, let's welcome Spivey in here too. By the way, he's here now in the building too. So after you get your thoughts in, Twan, we're gonna let Spivey jump in.
Okay, real quick, well, real quick. Now I would hope Buffalo. I would like for Buffalo to win this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess that's the formula that I would like to give Buffalo to be able to pull this upset off. Because I'm not a Patrick Mahomes fan by any stretch of the imagination. But my thing is, if they can call the game, then they have a chance. But if you're just gonna play the regular game, if you're going to play everything that Buffalo has done to this point and everything that they've done to this point in the season, I don't think you're going to beat them. I think the other thing on the other side of football is Andy Reid he's one of those coaches, same way we said about plays. He's willing to put a guy out there, hey, run a circle here and you go over here and you might block for this guy and you do this. Andy Reid is a masterful play caller and a great head. He's a great head coach. He is a great play caller, which is a rarity. I just, like I say, if we're picking teams, and when I look at stuff, I always say if I had to put money on something, if I had to bet money, I just don't believe in Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? I would hope they would win this game. I want them to. I want Buffalo to win, but I can't. If I had to bet money, I wouldn't bet on them.
Okay. Well, Spivey, what you got, man?
How you all doing tonight?
All right.
What's going on, brother?
Good evening.
I've heard some very interesting comments. I could be honest, tell you all, I think this year's playoff has been, they talk about parity. Well, we got parity. I think anybody can win on any given Sunday. I was somewhat shocked about Washington being Detroit. I really was. That was a shock.
Oh, wow. We didn't get to that. Yeah.
You and
Yeah,
you and everybody else, bro.
yeah, the truck was my favorite, but consider me being a Cowboys fan. But I tell you right now, I was listening to your comment about Buffalo. I would think, but I think if Buffalo ever going to do it, this is time for them to do it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Considering they lost a lot from a year ago, wide receivers and other parts of their team, for them to bounce back and to win like they have done, it's going to speak volumes. As you know, they've had Kansas City on the ropes for the last couple of years, the time they met in the playoffs. So for me, there's no fear of Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Where Buffalo is concerned. They're just going to have to put four full quarters together in order to beat Kansas City. They're not just going to lay down and roll over hand and crying to them. For the NFC goes, that can go anywhere. Washington is a cold weather team. Philadelphia is a cold weather team. I don't know if the conditions are going to be like it was Sunday, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders are in the Super Bowl.
Wow. Oh boy.
And me either.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, when we get there, me either.
I'm
we
telling you.
will. I think we there now.
Yeah,
You
because
hear the laugh. You hear
when
the
we
laugh
get there,
coming from the
me
top
either.
right hand corner.
right. Because you think about it. You think about what they done. I know they say it's hard for a team to go on the road 3 times and win a playoff game. I think the last team to do that was the 1980 Raiders. I'm not sure because they started as a
Wow.
wild card team with Jim
They did.
Plunkett.
And guess who they played in the Super Bowl?
They played the Eagles.
Yeah.
And so, again,
Ron, what was
Jaworski.
Ron
Jaworski.
Jaworski.
Ron
Ron
Jaworski.
Jaworski was the quarterback. Yeah.
You had what's his name? Wilbur Montgomery as a running back.
Oh yeah.
Harry Cunningham.
Who was it? Carmichael? Was Carmichael wide
what's on the
receiver back
defensive
then?
side? What's our man? Phil? Herm Edwards?
Herm Edwards.
Herm was on the defensive side of the ball.
I should know that team because they beat Dallas in the NFC Championship game in 19.
They sure did. They beat your Cowboys that
I
year.
still got Wilbur Montgomery. Still have a nightmare about Wilbur Montgomery. So,
Oh man, he was running that ball that game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Montgomery was hell. But again, it's gonna. I agree with all your points. Andy Reid, Andy Reid is a great coach. For him to transcend like he did from Philadelphia to Kansas City, and a mark of a great coach is that he evolves.
Yeah.
Unlike you could talk about what's the New England former coach Belichick, but one thing that Andy Reid has done, he has evolved as a coach. In order for you to stay current, you have to evolve.
And look, and you know what? One thing we can throw in there real quick, and you like I say, the thing that you do some of the times, anytime that you lose, man, anytime that life sets you back, once you learn from that and you become better, that's what you learn. And Dan Quinn, like as a when he became the head coach of the Commanders, he went out and he understood about getting specific guys for his team. And like I say, this might roll over real quick, but and we'll get off. I'll just get off of it till then. But he went to get certain people. He didn't go get, hey, I want the best this. I need the best that. He said, I got a team, and I want the best guys for this group of players, because the Falcons should have beat the freaking Patriots.
No doubt about it.
There's no reason that the Atlanta Falcons should have lost to the New England Patriots other than you know what? And Dan Quinn as a coach, I think that he had some things in there where he was deferring to Shanahan. And he let Shanahan call some stuff where he thought, you know what, as a defensive coach, I got an understanding of how the defensive side of this ball is played. And again, man, we somewhere different. If somebody had told me that that Falcons team could have held the freaking Patriots to 3 points going into halftime, I would have told you we done won the Super Bowl. They were a bad defensive team, but they played their ass off the first half of that game, and they should have won that Super Bowl. But
go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken,
I just said I digress.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
they're going to win that Super Bowl because all year long they had an offensive juggernaut. And again, you know, they was aggressive. And one thing about it, you don't stop being aggressive, but when the time came for them to run the game and run the clock, and then with the running game, as you
Yeah.
say, they got aggressive. They got away from the game plan. At the time, they used common sense. They was aggressive. But when you got a team like that, you got to run the game. You got to manage the clock. I understand playing
Run the ball, man.
right.
Just run it.
Well, there was a stat in there that basically they were saying that the Falcons would have just ran the ball every
Yeah, they would
possession,
have
even
won.
if it was 3 and
They would
out.
have won the
They would have
game. They
won.
would
They
have
would
won
have
the
won the
Super Bowl.
game
They would
Yeah.
have won the game.
Yeah. All
mathematically.
they had to
Yeah,
do, if they had ran the Patriots was statistically out of the game when Atlanta went up 28-3. Like the
yeah,
Patriots were statistically out of the game. All they had to
right.
do was run the ball, and they would have
hmm
won the Super Bowl.
But
But you got
see,
to
this
have
ain't.
somebody
But
somewhere that just can say, you know what, like
yeah.
this is what we're gonna do.
But we gonna spin this back to the Eagles, guys, because we
Yeah.
got to get Philly Red Zone's rebuttal to
Yep.
you guys saying that you feel good about Washington winning.
Mhm.
So we got to hear from Philly Red Zone on that. I'm thinking
Okay.
he's gonna go with Philly.
I said feel good. I didn't say bet. When we get to my betting,
Right.
I
And
change
I
it up.
said, and I
Well, I'll say
Oh,
I told y'all how I feel and how I bet. Them two different things now.
right. And
okay,
what did I
okay.
say?
That
And what did I say? I said I wouldn't be shocked. I didn't say definitely. I said I wouldn't
Oh,
be
There you
shocked.
go.
okay.
Hey. Yeah,
All right, there we go. There we go.
yeah, I mean, no, I understand, and the good thing about football is any given Sunday, any team that's unprepared or ill prepared or overconfident, like the Detroit Lions, you can
Ooh.
wake up and you can lose. You know, I know the Eagles. The reason why I'm so confident is the Eagles have a style of football that's old school, that no team other than, I want to say, the Ravens, when they decide to be a running team, no other team is really committed to the run like the Eagles,
I
and
agree.
they force you to pretty much put your big boy pants on every down, and it's going to be a fight. You know, everyone talk about, Jalen Hurts and his passing yards, and he don't have 300 this and out, but every offense that outgained the opposing team lost last week.
Lost.
You know why they lost? Because
Everybody lost.
they turned the ball over. They
Over.
were
Over. Yep.
efficient. They gave
Yep.
extra possessions. If Detroit cut down their turnovers by 2, they win the game
win.
going away. If they would have stayed with
Baltimore.
Jameer Gibbs averaged 7.4 yards per carry.
Yep.
7.4 yards per carry before he was
That's
touched.
amazing. Yep.
And they went
That's
away
the
from
first-
it because
That's a first down every 2 carries.
there you go. But the offensive coordinator could not help himself, and he wanted to show Jared Goff arm off because he was going for a job. He knew he was going for a job. So he wanted to show his new bosses how his offense going to look. And it bit him bit him behind because
In his ass.
Jared Goff,
bit
Jared
him in his
Goff was
ass.
off of it. He was off of it. He was high, he was low, he was inconsistent,
Mhm.
and I look at that and I wrap this around back to Philly, is Jalen Hurts. He's efficient with the football. He's not going to make the mistake. And at times he's too careful to where he'll just like, all right, look, I'm going to throw it away or I'm going to just take the sack and live to play another down, or we're going to punt the ball because we have the number 1 defense and they're playing great ball and and it's a field position game, and he understands that because that's winning football and that's old school football. You know what I mean? Where you get the ball, you grind the clock, you score your touchdowns, you play good defense, and you go home victorious. And that's what I look at with against the Commanders. Commanders is a scrappy bunch. They that team that, pretty much like the bad news bears of football of this season. And they got the new shiny object, and that's Jaden Daniels, who he's having a great season. The young man that came out of nowhere and basically showing what his abilities are. I mean, he's fast, he got a good arm, he can read defenses. He's basically showing what a quarterback coming out of college should be, and not every quarterback is going to be that. But at the end of the day, man, Philly, they just different, man. They are the bullies. Those
Amen.
guys. Those guys, I mean, playing against the Rams had everything. If it wasn't, if I'm, and I hate to say this because both of them had to play in the weather, but if that was a non-weathered game, that score wouldn't have been as close. I'm telling you guys that right now, it wouldn't have been that close.
Let me. I hate to jump in. I want to say this because I'm not going to be able to stay on long, but I'm going to say two things about the Eagles and the Commanders organization. Me being a Cowboy fan, they have great front offices. The reason why they're there, you know why? Because they have owners who put people in the place, allow them to do their job. One, my owner, the idiot Jerry Jones, which he is a damn idiot, along with his son, until they get out the way, then we'll be might be the third best team in the NFC East. Because I don't know what the Giants' projection is going to be. But let me say this about the Eagles. I love Saquon and I love the receivers. But one thing is missing. We know that Jalen is hurt. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan, and I don't think he gets to do that he deserves. But I always say this here. Remember, familiarity breeds contempt. It's not like Philadelphia hasn't seen Washington. They play each other twice. And this is the third time they're playing. So remember, when you see a team 3 times in a year, that's dangerous. And so they have no fear of the Eagles. And so, again, for me, I agree with my man, what he just said, the comments he made. I have no reason to debate you in what you said. A lot of things you said is right. But Dan Quinn is a hell of a defensive coordinator. And then Washington have weapons. And I would tell you this, I would not want that score to be close at halftime because of anybody ball game. For me, it's a toss-up. I think the 2 best teams in the NFC are playing. And that was before, like I said, Detroit was my favorite. I think it was a lot of people's favorite. But, again, I would sleep on the Commanders because they have a lot of weapons. It's going to be a dogfight. And like I said,
I was one of the few that had Washington winning that game, and I'm documented on that against Detroit. So,
but my thing about it, I'm going to commend it. I'm commending, and like I said, one thing about me, I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'm realistic. And I've been telling my other Eagles fans,
I like realistic fans.
Yeah,
you know what? I just like to throw that in there. I like realistic fans. I hate fans that are like, my team is gonna win the Super Bowl every year. No, the hell you're not gonna win every year, man. Stop that crap. But go ahead.
I told my Cowboy fan, I said, we ain't gonna do shit. Excuse the language. I said, the draft, the day Jimmy Johnson walked out that door is the day the Dallas Cowboys are climbing. You don't have.
Oh wow, you going back to Jimmy?
You got to, because you got to have. You look at the Eagles. You look at the Commanders.
He's right.
They've got people in places where they know football players. You got an owner who can make money, but he doesn't know anything but ego. And I 3 organizations that I look at that I admire, and they are our rivals. I start with the 49ers, I start with the Eagles, and I start with the Commanders. No matter how much I love the Cowboys, I know dumbness when I see it. And so I don't sugarcoat it, and so again, I'm no Eagles fan or Redskins fan, but what I can say is that I admire talent and I admire organizations that put it together. And you've got to get the devil his due. And again, to my Philly cohort that's on this podcast,
yes, sir.
I wish the team nothing but the best because I do like AJ Brown. I do
appreciate it.
I do like Saquon because I was one of the ones that was petitioning for Saquon to go to the Cowboys. And so again, those are moves that if Jimmy Johnson was there, you would have seen moves like that. When you went out there and got a
all right,
man.
Look.
Do you know how good Saquon would have been on Dallas? You know how good that would have been?
Say, no, we not even talk about Saquon. Derrick Henry wanted to be in Dallas.
Y'all dropped the
but I'm saying Saquon is a better even passing threat as well.
Yeah, Derrick Henry did everything, other than damn like
And
You know what I'm
show
saying?
up.
Yeah,
Right,
just show up at fucking training camp that he wanted to
right,
be a cowboy,
right. But
and like you said, the biggest thing about the Cowboys, their biggest problem is their owner,
all
his
right,
ego, and like you say, we go back to Jimmy Johnson and that whole thing. Barry Switzer won that Super Bowl. It
everybody
wasn't
knows that.
Barry Switzer that won that Super Bowl.
No,
Jimmy Johnson won that Super Bowl
and
because
it was
he
a
had
blemish,
everything in place.
and it was a
He had
Yeah.
blemish.
he
It
had
was,
had he had Dallas set up to be but basically he had Dallas set up to be the Patriots before they were the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like he had Dallas to be set up like years to come, man. He
guys,
had people in place
now,
and
now you,
guys.
now you're right. Let me say this, and I got to go. You're right. The
Uh-huh.
reason why I say a lot of people don't know this. Now you know we talked about Dallas missed on Randy Moss, but do you know who Dallas had on the bench in that 93-94 season? What wide receiver you know? I'm gonna tell you who he was. A lot of people forget that. Do you all remember Jimmy Smith from Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Jimmy
yeah. Jimmy
Smith was
Smith.
on that team.
Him and
But
Keenan
Yep.
Cardell.
hey, right, but they cut
Yeah.
him after the 94 season. Imagine Jimmy Smith with Michael
Hmm.
Irvin. So again,
Wow.
you losing
Woo-wee.
Alvin Harper, but you gaining a
Yeah.
better threat. You see, I saw it all of a sudden just tear down piece by piece. So when you don't have a person who has a GM mind and know how to pick players, then you're losing every year. Guys, I
Yeah.
hate to go off. I've enjoyed this. Tyrone, you all do a great job. I wish I could stay on longer, but I
Hey
promised my
man,
friend Tyrone that I would
you
jump in. I
came
wish I
in.
could stay longer. But again, guys, you all have valid point. You all are very knowledgeable in what you're saying. You know, I tell people you can debate people without cutting the fruit.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And and I hope I
Hey
get a
man,
chance.
anytime anybody gets up and has that's the one thing that what I just told you what you said. I'm a fan, but I ain't a
Listen.
fool.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm a fan, but I ain't a fool. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like when you can talk to people on that level,
right.
then it goes so much. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, because everybody takes in the realistic part of
Right.
the debate. It's
And we
not
Yeah.
just stupidity a lot
and
of
we may
times.
not always agree, but I can respect your point. And you know what?
Yeah,
Your point might be valid.
Yep.
yeah.
And that's what we don't understand. But guys, I've got to go. Tyrone,
All
thank you
right.
for
Yeah. Have a good
inviting me.
evening.
And guys, you all
All
doing a
right,
great
bro. Have a
job. And
good
I hope I
night, my
get a chance
man.
to do
All
y'all
right.
again.
All
Have a
right.
good
We'll
night,
holler
fellas.
at you.
All
All
right.
All
right,
right.
Spike. We'll
I
holler
hope
at you,
y'all
man.
get a
Appreciate you.
coach. I
I
hope
hope
y'all
so
get a
too.
coach.
I hope so
Hey,
too.
hey, hey,
Dion.
before you go, Spivey, give me one coach. Give me the name. Who's the coach?
Well, two of them already gone, but since we in it, since we right now, I really don't know. They was talking about
Where's
Pete Carroll.
Monken? Is
Who
Monken
that?
gone?
Who?
Is Monken
Who was
the
that?
offensive coordinator for the Ravens?
No, he's not going. It was talking about Kellen Moore, but
Oh,
they were talking about getting Schottenheimer that's already on the staff. So that tells you already
Man,
that
hey
we
man.
give him. That's
Yeah.
a plus.
Yeah. They
So
said
right
that
okay.
now,
about him.
I'm telling I'm telling everybody. I don't know if he interviews well or whatever, but Monken he is a hell of a play caller.
but again, you got
Well,
to realize. But my thing about it with Jerry Jones, a lot of coaches. Okay, it's like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
cut it short. Troy even
yeah.
said something. If Dan Campbell would have went to Dallas, would he become Dan Campbell? Until
Nope.
that owner gets out the way and
Yeah,
allows the person to do their job,
yeah.
I don't care if you can raise Tom Landry from the dead. It'll never work.
You're right.
oh man.
Tom
And it's
Landry.
going.
Well,
And you know what? Tom Landry wouldn't have worked with fucking Jerry Jones.
Oh no. Nobody's gonna work with Jerry Jones until he concedes power. And so I'm afraid, guys, that we're gonna be stuck in I forgot the word I'm looking for. Oh my God.
purgatory.
Purgatory. We're gonna be in
Purgatory.
Purgatory.
purgatory
Yeah,
for a long
purgatory.
time. We're gonna be in purgatory for a long time. And that note,
All
as
right.
the great going so would say, so long, gentlemen. I gotta go.
All right.
Enjoy
You
this,
have a good
gentlemen.
evening.
All
All
right
right.
then.
All right,
Bye bye.
Spivey. We'll holler.
All right, bye bye.
All right.
All right, Spivey's out. And Nard from the
Nard.
Nard
What's up,
report is
Nard?
in.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going
What
on,
up,
bro?
Hey,
Nard?
what's
We can
up?
find the Nard. You can find Nard on the Nard report on all social media platforms. The Nard report. All right, man. Welcome in here, Nard. All right, so we let's go ahead and get our official predictions here for the
All right.
NFC and AFC championship games.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Just give me the teams. Antoine, just give me your two teams.
No.
All right, I got
Yeah, I need a minute. You go just
Okay,
tell
well,
me.
I
I
No,
got the
but
Bills
I
and
get.
no,
Eagles.
but
I'm
no,
trying to go around the
no.
horn.
Hey man, see you didn't just look. Hey man, and I understand when you coming at Mr. 411
Pass.
Philly.
Yes, sir.
He can't just go where we just left from right then and tell me I gotta. No, I gotta
Pass.
gotta
We
get
got.
my
We
points across real quick.
okay.
No, because the thing is we didn't. Okay.
Well, let me get mine. Then we'll come back. We're
Well,
gonna let's
All
okay.
right.
just
Well, you
we'll
come
get
back to
back.
me
We'll get
because
back to it.
All right.
I know
So
what
so
Philly
let,
gonna pick, and no, but I
right.
gotta say my
That's
part
why I
here.
saved you. Okay, so Philly red zone. Give me a two,
I got
and then
Bills. I got the Bills and the Eagles.
so now I have Bills and Eagles. Nard,
Bills, Eagles.
Bills, Eagles. Okay, so to give Antoine just a little bit more time, and Nard, you just joined in.
All right, no,
Why
I'll
do you
just tell
have
you. Well,
why do you have
if we
Bills
going
Eagles?
to that point, I got
Yeah.
the damn no, I got the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Okay, Eagles Chiefs, and that's good because we got a different team in there.
Yeah.
Three people pick Bills and one pick Chiefs. So, go ahead, Twan, give your thoughts, and then let Nard get his in. Then we got to get
Okay,
to the
well,
other topics.
okay. So real quick, so like I say, when we backpedal a little bit, and then we get back on the other side of it, just a little bit with the Eagles and the Commanders. Um, I think this is gonna be one of those we getting back to the old school
Hmm.
football because we got some, you know what I'm saying, like I said, we got a good, we have a Super Bowl proven coach with with Dan Quinn, proven in the fact that he found his defense well enough to beat the Patriots.
Hmm.
Again, we can like it, we can dislike it, we can call. If anybody had a told me that when the Falcons played the Patriots, that the Patriots would have only had 3 points going into halftime with
Hmm.
that badass defense that Atlanta had, that they should have won the Super Bowl. But again, just getting back, um, I do pick Philadelphia for a couple of reasons. They're at home. I
Hmm.
think Philadelphia has gone through the maturation process, and that's the
Hmm.
thing that I like about football. That used to be basketball was the maturation process. You have to win and lose. You have to go some, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to go to some points. You got to win and you got to lose, because when
Hmm.
you lose, you understand why you lost. And then when you understand why you lost, you got to understand how you get better. The
Hmm.
Eagles went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago and they lost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And minus last year, they have gotten back to the point where they understand what they need to do to get to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And so that's
Right.
why they will beat the Commanders. They are the guys that, like we the dog. We done been through this part. Y'all ain't been here yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Right.
You know
More
what I'm saying?
And
experience.
they got more
Hmm.
experience.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so and they're at home. And so that's why I would pick the Eagles on that side. And when we talked about it a little bit earlier, I just still don't believe. I do not believe in
Allen.
Josh Allen. It's not so much I don't believe in Josh Allen. I just don't believe in his coaches unless I see. You know what I'm saying? Again, I would hope that the Bills beat the Chiefs because I don't like the Chiefs. But like I say, if we're putting money on certain things, if we're gonna bet, I'm betting on the Chiefs because I
They've
feel,
been there, man.
number one, they're at home. Um,
Hmm.
Mahomes is gonna be, you know what I'm saying? He knows what he has. He knows what he has to do to win the games. And that's the one thing that, you know what I'm saying? Like when you watch the Chiefs, they don't give you, for a lack of a better word, shit. They don't give you anything. They don't
Right.
they don't turn the ball over at bad points in the game. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like do those 3 and outs when they don't need to. They might just get that one first down. That's a 10, 15-yard difference in a punt. That's what they don't do. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that they don't do. And these are going to be 2 great-ass games over the weekend. But like I say, I believe the Chiefs at home and I believe the Eagles at home. That's the
All
2
right.
things that are going to be the difference in the games.
Come on, Nard. What you got?
Well, starting off in the NFC Championship game, I got the Eagles because, first of all, like Antoine just said, they've been here before. They got the more experience. Jalen Hurts, phenomenal quarterback. Saquon Barkley has been unstoppable in these playoffs. And their defense under Jalen Carter, that defensive line is scary.
Wow. Yeah, that's yeah. Okay. But yeah, and again, like I said, I'm going with the Bills only because I just feel like it's time. Like they've been there, had a crack at this thing multiple times. It they had to go through the Ravens in the last round, and I think with that type of win, even though I don't think offensively the Bills really showed a whole lot, but they was able to do just enough to win. Their defense actually stepped up, and again the turnover battle saved them too. But they got through there with a win, and I think that's a momentum type win. The Chiefs have been, in my opinion, they've been winning games, but it really,
But it's
to
not like
me, it
consistent.
has been looking like they've been on the ropes a lot of these games. And this has got to be the game that I'm banking on that. This is going to be the game where things may not quite go their way, and that's how Buffalo wins it. Now,
Okay,
it's only
Mr.
a one game. It's only a one game scenario, so it's not like I'm saying
A
Buffalo is
ser-
just that much better or this or that. It's just a one game scenario, and I just feel like this will be that game where it doesn't quite. The Chiefs don't quite do everything that they always have done, and it'll be the one time that they can't pull the rabbit out the hat. That's how I feel
and,
about that.
and Mr. 411, my rebuttal to that real quick is the the Bills did it at home.
They did,
They
yeah,
they did it at
but
home.
they also been
And,
close against the Chiefs on the road
yeah,
too
and
in the
you know,
postseason.
in
Yeah.
that game, and again, and I guess I should have got I did a little bit more background when they beat the Chiefs this year. Did they play in Buffalo or did they play in Kansas City?
They played in Kansas City.
KC.
Okay,
Buffalo.
so
You talking
Was
about
it
this
in Buffalo?
season?
Yeah, I thought they was
It's
in
in
Kansas
Buffalo.
City.
I
We'll
don't know.
verify.
So I
No
don't know.
problem.
That's
We'll
what I'm
get it.
asking.
We'll get it. We'll get that.
And,
We
and,
just keep
and,
rolling.
and
I get that up. I get that up.
okay,
Yeah,
and my thing is, if they beat them, if they beat them in Buffalo, the mentality is different. When you go into the Lions Den, and you have to beat, you know what I'm saying. When you have to go into that Lions Den and beat that line on his home turf
Hmm.
in front of his people, I just I like Josh Allen.
Okay.
yeah. It
Let
I
was
me
in
just
say this
don't
Buffalo.
real
believe in
quick.
it.
It was
I just
at
don't believe.
Buffalo.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
in Buffalo.
so
It was
and
21 to
you know what
30.
I'm saying?
30-21.
Yeah. And so he didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like he again, so now he didn't have to walk into the line. He is walking into the Lions Den.
I get it. We get
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
And
I'm
you're
just
right.
saying. I'm
And
just
you're
saying it's a one
Mr.
game scenario. That's all.
You're
yeah,
right. And that's the thing about sports that we love is
Yeah.
you know, and that's the one thing we love an underdog more than we love a dynasty. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Love underdogs. We love the
The one,
underdog to go in there to beat up the you know, we love David over Goliath. We love that. You know what I'm saying? And that is the biggest thing about sports. That's a big sell.
Hmm.
And and you know, again, that was my thinking. I was thinking about this when you told me to get on the talk. That was my talk about with Washington.
yeah,
I know,
Yeah.
and that was my talk with Washington. I'm thinking Washington against the Chiefs, and that kind of upset how that does for football. But you know, we'll talk about that on another show or another thing.
Yeah, we will.
the one thing that I
my
want to
thing,
allude to with the
yes,
Bills
Go
sir.
though,
ahead.
that pretty much is the offense, the Chiefs' offensive line. They're weak at the
Yeah.
tackles, because
Mm-hmm.
they end up having to move their starting guard Tooney to I want to say left tackle because their left tackle was pretty much struggling and getting Mahomes hit too much. But then Tooney is a great guard that you're moving to tackle, but now you're weak at guard, and
Right.
you have your guard that's playing tackle out of position. And I mean, if you look at that Texans game last week, they Mahomes was under pressure pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
He wasn't, by the time he was hitting his back foot and his three or five step drops, he had pressure in his face. And he was able to make certain, movements to create space, but he didn't have like clean pockets to where, he had all day like he used to have back when, he had Tyreek Hill and all those guys with him in his early years of going to Super Bowls. So that's
Hey,
the one
hey,
thing with having Von Miller and Russo and I forgot the other guy, Milano and those guys coming off the edges and and Ed Oliver getting pressure in his face. That Bills defensive line needs. I mean, they need to stand on their head and bring it every play. Assignment free, assignment defense against KC and take Kelsey away, because when Mahomes is in trouble, that's who he look for. He's not looking for D Hop. He's not looking for Hollywood. He's not
Right.
looking for Xavier. He's looking for Kelsey. Because
he
that's
is.
that's his
his
comfort
go-to guy.
blanket. Yep. If
He is.
you take him away, if I'm the Bills coach, I'm looking at all of the Bengals defensive series against the Chiefs because they were the only team that went in the Arrowhead and beat them.
And just lit them up. Yeah.
Yep.
They really came. They really went in there and showed out. And
Yeah.
again, and here's the thing about Josh Allen this year, and we talked about it last game about the Ravens where they had 3 turnovers. Well, all season I think Allen had 8. So
Mm,
he's really cut down on his turnovers.
yeah.
And if
Well, they
you can
running the
do
ball
that,
more too with Cook.
right, and that's helped that turnover number go down.
Yeah.
It's kind of going back to what you said about the Eagles with Saquon,
Mm-hmm.
the addition to Saquon and running the ball more through him. It cuts down
Yeah.
on those turnovers, and that's one of the things the Chiefs capitalize on, right? Kind of like if you think about the Spurs in their heyday, the Spurs didn't beat themselves either. They
Yeah.
capitalized off the teams that broke, and the Chiefs really capitalize when you break. And I
When you
think
mess
that's
up,
where,
that's where the Chiefs.
right,
That's where the Chiefs get their. That's
right,
where they maximize their. When you screw up,
correct,
that's when they get you.
Yeah, and
right.
it's
So
not even
cut down,
screwing up. It's playing your style of football.
keep
A
those
lot of
turnovers
teams
down.
play against these marquee quarterbacks, like the Tom Brady days. People will go in and just instantly try to have a shootout with Tom Brady. No, you're going to lose that game. But if you
Right.
slow the game down, I call it mucking the game up. You muck the game up. You run the football. You grind that clock. You play keep away, and you scoring touchdowns. Now he's got the other now.
Now they got to
The
execute.
Mahomes, they got to hurry up and execute.
Hmm.
Because if they're turning the ball over, because now that pressure is on, and they looking at that clock, and they're like, damn, it's almost the second quarter, and we didn't even touch the ball.
Yeah.
Now those guys getting antsy, and now they're out of character.
Hey,
And they're
well,
playing against what they're used to playing. That's their style of play.
Hmm. Yeah.
hey,
So
man, I'm gonna say I wanted to hear the Nard report on what he was
yeah,
thinking about some of the same things that we were saying because I wanted. He was saying some
Right.
stuff, and then he
I mean, he's
didn't.
here.
He did. Yeah, he
Go ahead,
didn't.
Nard.
Well, he ain't hopped in there so hard, but he was saying some stuff that I wanted to expound on and kind of piggytail on when he was saying it a little bit earlier. But what were you saying about the game, man?
Well, I gotta say is that first of all, the Bills gotta walk into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs because Allen is 0-3 against the Chiefs in the playoffs. And here's the thing: they can beat the Chiefs. It's just that they gotta find a way to beat them in the playoffs. The Bills got a very good defense, so we're gonna see a lot of pressure on Mahomes, and you gotta slow down Travis Kelce. That's all you gotta do. And Josh Allen gotta outplay Patrick Mahomes, which I feel like he will do.
yeah,
And there it is. That's what's got it. And you're right. I mean, that's the formula, man. If that happens, they can get out of there with a W.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I see that. So now, with all this said, we know that with Andy Reid and his trickery and
mm-hmm,
play calling, and with Patrick Mahomes' history, Both we're not gonna be shocked if Kansas City wins the game.
No,
But
no.
so it ain't like that. But it's just like I'll say this. Look at the quarterback play. The quarterbacks in that game. You got two quarterbacks, right? Josh Allen is an MVP candidate this season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're coming in there with an inexperienced quarterback because he had his heartache, like Antoine was talking about earlier about teams going through their heartache and trying to climb the mountain, get knocked down, all that. On the other side with Philly, you got a rookie quarterback that's coming in, and I'm gonna say this, maybe everybody may not like this, but they played Tampa Bay in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they played the worst, the best possible team you could play in the playoffs if you're any team was Tampa or Atlanta,
But
whichever team won the South. That
but
helped.
Yeah,
but
because Atlanta was
And
terrible.
Tampa was probably the most dangerous team though, man, because
well,
they were
but they
so
weren't getting in. They weren't
Well,
getting
if they
in
if
any
both
other
both teams
scenario.
would have won the game.
yeah, but yeah, it was a one game scenario, man. But like you know what I'm saying, almost like
No,
they you know what I'm saying, like
but
sometimes you just don't want to
but
see
all of them
certain guys when you get in there. You know what I'm saying?
But the
Like that's
ball,
the
but
only thing about it.
understood.
look at this. I don't know if y'all remember the ball
Under
was in Tampa Bay's hand at the
it
end.
was.
Baker fumbled the ball and gave the
Yeah,
He
ball
did.
to back to
But
Jaden
what,
in the red zone.
but
yeah,
once
Yeah.
again, what I'm saying is Tampa Bay or Atlanta was probably the worst team that was getting in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just saying that they had the best possible kind of matchups too to
Mm-hmm.
help get with the upset to Detroit. Now don't get me wrong, because Detroit was another team that was one game from the Super Bowl last year.
yeah.
So they
And they
kind of
went
had a
and
good
they
start.
went in their house. They went in their
They
house
did
and
and
beat
beat them.
their ass. They beat
They did.
their ass.
They ran them out of
They didn't
Detroit.
slide through. They beat their ass in
No,
their
I
house.
get that, but
Yeah,
but and if Tampa if let's just say Washington the first round had to go to blank, you know what I'm saying? They don't get that win and then advance again. All I'm saying is Philly is a proven team, and you got to go in there and beat them with one game to go to the Super Bowl with a team that's been to the Super Bowl not too long
yeah,
ago and
Yeah.
hungry to get back. I
Yep.
think with a rookie quarterback, that's not the easiest of things to do because there's a lot of things he ain't seen yet. Josh
yeah,
Allen has seen a lot more things than Daniels have seen.
yeah.
If you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying.
And
Yeah.
what do and my point to go back to it real quick, I say the things that I like and the things that I bet on.
Yeah,
If I like it, I would like the if like I say the upset scenario for the
yeah,
Eagles. Yeah, you could have that. You have like you say, you've had a coach that's been to the Super Bowl. He understands what a Super Bowl loss feels like, and so
Mm-hmm.
like
yeah.
he knows how to he knows how he wants to coach. He knows how he wants to coach around that now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the same thing, and the thing about the only thing uh that he has, Sirianni has that same feeling. I was at a Super Bowl and I lost a Super Bowl that I should have won. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So you got two guys that have some of the
Agreed.
same
Yeah.
understandings about what they know about the game. And the thing is, Philadelphia is at home.
Okay.
Philadelphia has the better defense. Philadelphia has the better running back.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well,
That's why I'm
guys,
picking, that's why I'm picking
that,
Philly.
no, that's good.
Um,
That's good.
yeah.
But we,
And
we got to
so,
get to the hurry up. We got to get to the hurry up offense here.
All right. Let's
Because
get
we still
to it.
got one, two, three. We got a couple more topics. So we want to get to the hurry up offense on this. Lamar
Okay.
okay.
Jackson, the big talk, because I had to put this in here because I want to get y'all's thoughts
Mm-hmm.
on it. And we can always come back and do another episode on it in deeper detail. But Lamar Jackson, there's a lot of talk about that 2 point
Yeah.
conversion attempt.
Yep.
Was it the fault of Jackson? Was it the fault of
Mark
Andrews?
Andrews missed
Was
the
it
fucking
was a little
deep
bit of
three.
both? What y'all got?
And,
What you got?
I'm gonna go
I'm
totally
gonna go
left.
real quick and I'll get
All
out
right.
y'all way.
All right.
If Lamar Jackson had a walked in the fucking end zone and handed Mark Andrews the ball, there's nothing else he could have did. There's nothing
Okay.
else he could have did other than walk to the end zone and put the ball in his hand than Mark Andrews fumbling the ball.
All right. So you got it on Andrews. Okay.
All right.
Somebody else about to say something.
Yeah, it was me. I blame the OC. I mean, you're on the 2 yard line. You got a 6'3", 265-pound running back. You line up in
Oh,
the pistol, and you tell your line, we gonna move these guys 2 yards, and you get the ball to Derrick Henry. That's the moment that you have a Derrick Henry. You give him the ball, or you let Lamar tuck the ball and run it in. You don't pass the ball on a -4 day with winds and a wet football. Because if you look at that video, Lamar double
Yeah.
pump. Anytime Lamar double pumps the ball, he's turning the ball over, or somebody's going to drop it because he's not accurate. And I think they should have ran the ball. That was the OC's fault. He should have just give it to your lead back, man. That
So we
guy's
got the
determined.
OC.
That was his moment. Yeah.
So we got
But you
Andrews
but
and
you
dangerous in the
OC.
end zone.
but you're
What you
tied in and I'm gonna get out the real with anytime you're tied in. Tight ends are usually your most sure-handed guys on the field. Sure, I mean, even over wide receivers, they are
He had
your
to
tight
keep
ends.
dropping a fumble in that game. He
Yeah,
was
he
all
did.
in his
And
head.
hey, you're right. Hey, you are absolutely right. But for my thing is like you, nigga, you gotta redeem yourself. Catch this.
oh,
You
well,
gotta catch
okay.
the ball.
Okay, so that you're strong on that.
Yes,
You're
sir.
fairly strong on the OC. Nard, who what you got?
Mark Andrews, because how did he drop the ball? It was right there in his hands.
The ball was thrown low. He tried to scoop, and he wasn't over the end zone, and the
Not
safety was right there. If he would have fell down, he would have had to hurry up and try to roll in the end zone. So he was trying to cradle a low pass, bring it to his body, and then lunge his body over the end zone, the end line. So
wow.
But if he really if he catches that ball and falls back, that's them 2 points in there.
All
yeah,
right,
I mean,
so
I get it, but
If he
I
if
say
he
you
if he
don't even
catches
put Lamar in
if
that
he catches
situation.
that ball, if he just catches that ball and it falls where he falls, the game is tied.
well
Or I mean,
here's
I say better play
oh
design. That play design was
yeah.
just horrible. It was
Well,
just hard.
and
It was
and
hard.
and I'm a bounce off of what Philly's saying about the play design because I thought about this a lot as well, just like you guys have. And at first, I was like, man, this is Lamar
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
was not an accurate throw. And I know and I'm not trying to be picky or funny or anything, but he's the leader of the team. He's the trigger man on this. So if he puts the ball, throws it at the right time that he's supposed to throw it on a certain step, I think it's the fourth or fifth step, and get it
Hmm.
out, then Andrews doesn't have to contort his body and turn back and try to catch it while he's running one direction and spin his body back the other direction. Yes, should he have caught the ball? That doesn't, we're not taking away that he should have caught the ball. But the pass could have been a lot easier for a big man like that, especially in that situation where he don't see the line now. He don't know who's behind him, whatever, or where he's
Hmm.
gonna land or anything. So now it's all of a sudden a more difficult play. All I'm saying is if Jackson threw the ball correctly, now it's all on Andrews at that point. So, but then to spin it back even further, I do think it's the play design because they ran this play before. Remember the game against Pittsburgh
Yep.
where they
Oh
had to
yeah.
try to do a conversion? It was a similar situation where it was a pump, it was a 2 point conversion play going to Andrews again, and the throw wasn't right where it needed to be, and now you have the ball hitting him in the hands and dropping and all that. And then they ran it again. I think it was another year when they ran it against Green Bay, but Hundley was the quarterback, and they ran the same kind of play where it's a sprint to the right and throw it to the tight end. And guess who the tight end was on that play? It was Andrews, and it was incomplete. So I think it ultimately is a team's a total team drop on this play from the coach, from the quarterback to the tight end. I just think they need to come up with better 2 point conversion plays. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at with it. I
In
think they
two,
should be more creative with two.
in 2008,
Yeah,
Eli Manning, 2008 Super Bowl.
yeah,
Eli Manning threw one of the ugliest passes in NFL history to
yep,
David Tyree,
yep.
and he was covered. Uh, Was that who covered him? Was that
Well, the
Harris?
tight, you talking about when the receiver caught it on his on the helmet?
Yeah.
I think
Is
that was
that the play you
Hobbs
talking
or
about?
somebody. Hobbs or
Yeah,
Sante or one of those guys.
Was that Harris? No,
yeah.
that was
But
37.
right,
Oh,
but you're saying it was a great
Yeah.
play. You saying it was a great play made by the receiver. I get it.
My thing is, and again, I'll get out the way about this. Sometimes the guys that you know what I'm saying, it can't always be about the quarterback. He can't always throw the perfect pass. It can't be just like you can't
It's an
always
easy
make it
pass.
the easiest thing about the other person. You got two people involved in a pass, the quarterback and the receiver,
Right.
or
But in
whoever's
fairness,
receiving
but wasn't that an
whoever.
easy? But that
No,
was an
I'm just
easy
saying whoever's
pass though.
receiving the pass.
That was
Mark,
an easy throw to make
if
though.
this is, I'm just saying, if this is the second quarter in the third game,
Hmm.
and the this is second down and 7, and Mark Andrews is going for a first down against the damn Atlanta Falcons. He
Hmm.
makes that catch. You know what I'm saying? There's certain
Maybe
things
he's
that
right.
you have to do as a player. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows going into this thing, you know what I'm saying? Like let's again, let's go what you know what I'm saying? Like when we're calling this play, he called the play to go to Mark Andrews. He
I
knows who's
got you.
getting the ball. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
got you.
let's
Yeah.
let's not act like he doesn't know where the ball is going, number one. And number two, you gotta catch it. You know what
It
I'm
hit him in
saying?
his
But
hand. That's
he
what we're
shouldn't.
saying.
And
But the
so that
situation,
and
maybe the
so that's my
situation was
thing is
too
like
big for him.
and guess what? Some in Philly, that's what you say, bro. Sometimes the
Yeah.
moment is too big for some people, so we can't
Well, don't
blame
draw the play up
Lamar.
for him.
We
But don't
can't
draw the play up
blame
Isaiah
for him.
Likely
Lamar.
out there.
We can't blame Lamar for his receiver not doing his job. That's my
Yeah.
only
Hey,
thing about
right, and your point is valid. Don't get me wrong. That's why I say it's like a for me it's like on the it's a full circle on this one because but why put him back in that situation again? Why run that same type of play again when you know
Mm-hmm.
Lamar has proven to you that he doesn't necessarily make like
it. Okay,
that type of
that's what
throw?
I'm saying. We're blaming
Why
Lamar,
put him?
but Lamar,
Oh, no. I
Lamar
put it
did
on
it.
the coach too for running the play because Lamar has a history of doing this in the same
Yeah.
play.
Yep.
That's all I'm
And you know
saying.
what?
Let him do
Maybe you're
something
right.
else.
But
Let him do
maybe you're
something
right.
else.
But the only other thing that we could have okay, so we go from our sure-handed Pro Bowl, the
Yeah,
person that the one person that has been on this
facts.
team with Lamar longer than
Yeah,
anybody is Mark Andrews.
but I tell you what, likely looks like he's the one now at
Yeah.
tight
And
end.
he could be. And we're not gonna argue that now. But if you gonna tell me, you know what I'm saying, Mr. 41, let's go this. Me and you the older brothers.
Right?
If
Yeah.
if your daddy and my daddy gotta throw the ball to either me and you or Keaton and Anthony, who the fuck you think he throwing that football to, man?
Well,
The one that's been with
it,
him the
if
longest. And the
or the
one
one
that
that's
he can
proven,
depend, and no, the one that's been with him the longest, and the one person that he think like if I had to depend on anybody to do something for me, and this
yeah.
is life, I'm gonna bet on him. And Mark Andrews let him down. Just catch the ball, and then it's we not even talking about none of this now. But he
Well, it's
dropped
interesting.
the football. He
Well, he
dropped
definitely
it.
dropped it. He definitely dropped it. I mean, he did drop it, but I mean, like I say, that's why it makes it so fascinating because it's so many angles on that where you can put blame on a lot of different places. So, I
Yes, you
mean,
can.
I hope they draw up a new play next time they're in that scenario. That's what I want to see.
No,
A new play. It can be
you
the same
drop a
characters,
whole
but
new
a new
game
play.
plan. You drop a whole new game plan, and you run Derrick Henry about 35 fucking times, and you can't do nothing with me. Because guess what? About the
Yeah,
third quarter, when them
yeah.
defensive backs and them linebackers tired of getting their ass ran over, he gonna break about 3 or 4 long runs
Okay.
for me. That's what you
Hey
do.
guys, that's right. Hey guys, okay. Before we go to the NBA, okay, could I want to hear what Philly Red Zone has to say about the 76ers and Joel Embiid situation. Ohio State defeats Notre Dame. They win the FBS national championship, but it was a 7 seed, 8 seed over 7 seed or something like that. So what does this mean for the playoffs for you guys? What does it mean?
Well, to me, first of all, this college football playoffs have been a lot of underdogs. I did not expect Ohio State to win it all this year. I had Georgia and Texas in the championship, but hey, Notre Dame and Ohio State proved everybody wrong. Ohio State finally got over the hump, and Ryan Day officially keeps his head coaching job at Ohio State. So I love that for him.
You
Hey,
saved the job. Okay.
Yeah,
usually they're one and done.
yeah, you right, Phil. Dog. He saved his ass because he was gone. If he had lost this one,
Oh,
he
I'm
was
saying,
gone.
If you lost to Notre Dame, yeah.
Yeah,
So and again, it was a
his
seven
ass
and an
was
8 seed,
gone.
and it was a 7 versus 8 seed. So Antoine, how does that fit in the for you in your mind about this playoff system?
Um, well, I mean, it's a 7 versus 8 seed, but you probably have let's. I mean, like when we're being realistic about how we want to rate teams,
Hmm.
um, it's not a 7-8. Ohio State is way better than Boise. They're better than Indiana. They're better than you know what I'm saying?
Were they better than Penn State? Were they
They're
better
better than
than?
Yeah, because
Oh
they
yeah,
play at
Ohio
Penn
State's
State
better
head
than
up. They're
Penn
better
State.
than Penn State. Uh,
Yeah,
so and you know we want to crucify Notre Dame for one bad game against Northern Illinois. Um, but
me. I
we
raised my
don't
hand on that one.
but we don't, but we don't crucify Ohio State going into the one game they should have won against a not a great Michigan team, and Michigan whooped their ass. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
don't crucify them for that. And as far as how other things go, I think the one thing that this committee and the one thing they're kind of setting up for um is we're going to get away from certain things as far as
Mhm.
how the college playoff is set up. I think we really are going to get away from some things or some
Okay.
things being valued as far as like conference championships and things of those nature, because we look at, like I said, we look at Ohio State, you know they didn't play in their conference championship, but were
Right.
they a better team than Ohio? I mean, Indiana? Yeah, they're better than Indiana. Are they better than Boise? Yeah, they're better than Boise. Um, Texas got a lot of benefit from what they did, but Georgia beat their ass 2 times. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Right.
wasn't Georgia beat them.
So do you like
Georgia go.
this format, or do you like the format, or do
Yeah, I
you?
like I like the I like the 12 team format. I like what I don't want to do anything. What I don't want is any kind of guaranteed spots. That's the one
Okay.
thing that I don't want.
Okay.
Don't
But
guarantee
you like the
anything
12
to
though,
anybody. Yeah. You know
because
what?
you
When
like
you go
12.
through, yeah, when you go through, let's go through, and at the end of the conference championships, and when we get through everything, you put the 12 best teams in the playoff and play that way. I like that.
What about you, Phil?
Oh, I mean, I'm okay with the format. I mean, I respect the fact that yeah, the conference winners get kind of an automatic bid. And then from there, it's all about strength of schedule, your overall record, and common opponents, and all that stuff.
You okay with the
That's
group of five
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's
or group of
I
four,
don't
whatever it's called?
yeah, I don't think they can switch that up If they do,
Like
then they want to, then they force them to add more teams, and you're going from 12 to, 16, and that's just too much for college football. But I like the 12-team format. And as far as the actual game itself, I mean, the better team won. The team that had the more physical offensive defensive line won. And then also talent beat the overall hot team. I mean, Notre Dame was hot. And they won some games that nobody, that they weren't expected to win. I mean, getting that interception against Penn State, and then they made their field goal,
yeah.
to win. But Ohio State, I mean, those boys, they showed up. When Notre Dame went down and they running their quarterback and through that defensive line all the way down to a touchdown, I already knew Notre Dame was going to lose after that. That quarterback was beat up and he was gassed. And he didn't have anything left.
Yeah.
And I blame Freeman for that. I'm like, you don't run your quarterback through a defensive line, 15 plays, and you expect that young man to sustain a high level of play for 4 quarters after you done beat him up in the first 8 minutes of a game. That young man was gassed, and he didn't have anything left. And Ohio State knew it.
And you saw it, and that's the thing. You saw it. You saw after that series, like what I'm saying, like everybody was hyped, but like when when you saw him go over there to the sideline, he was like, shit, coach, I ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you'd have used all my power pellets.
Yep,
old Pac-Man. The old Pac-Man reference. You'd have used all my power pellets. I'm done.
Yeah, he was done.
And they couldn't do anything else going forward.
Yeah, Antoine, what Pac-Man you talking about? 2600, 5200?
No, bro, the old Atari. Atari Pac-Man. That older. Yeah, the old Atari.
2600 with the one remote with the one controller.
Yeah, no, not that 26. Yeah, the 2600.
Yeah,
that's
the
old one. Yeah,
that's the one controller, one button.
And you know what they tried to do with us, Mr. 411? They tried to gas us up. They gave us some damn wood grain. You know what I'm saying? Like it had wood grain on that old 2600. Like that was, you know what I'm saying? Like that was some shit. You know what I'm saying? That old 2600 had that wood grain on it. But
it's come a long way. It's come a long way.
But
hey guys,
no, I like I say, I like to listen to my man Nord. He don't be assertive enough sometimes. But
Nard working his way in, and this is a good way to work him in too. Well, first of all, Antoine, you got a picture of a former Philadelphia 76er, Wilt Chamberlain. By the way, he was his Sixers in 1967. Broke the Boston Celtics. Yeah, broke the that's a great question.
Well, he the second greatest Sixer ever. I give him.
I mean, you talking, I mean, you got Dr. J in the conversation too, but
Dr. J.
But in '67, they did defeat. They stopped the Boston Celtics dynasty streak. 4 years in a row, whatever it was.
Yeah,
and
yes, they did.
But Philadelphia had. Speaking of a center, big man, their big man Joel Embiid, man.
Yeah,
he. I don't know what's going on here. I wanted to get Philly Red Zone's take on it first because he's from Philly, and just what's going on with Embiid and his struggles, and what do you think the Sixers should do, man?
Well, for one,
Look, I know Mr. 411 in Philly Red Zone. This has nothing absolutely to do with nothing that we talk about with sports. Philly Red Zone. You from Philly, right?
Yep.
What is the cheesesteak spot? Which one is the which one is the if I'm a black man in America and I say I gotta eat one cheesesteak in Philadelphia, where is that? Where do I need to go?
The Alessandros.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking your word for that. Me and my old lady gonna fly to Philly. I'm telling y'all for real. Me and my old lady gonna fly to Philly and stay the weekend so we can go D'Alessandro's.
All right, that's one. I'm gonna give you 3 places. You go to
Okay, 3. We gonna
D'Alessandro's
do okay. Go real
up in
quick.
Roxborough. D'Alessandro's in Roxborough. You're gonna go with
Uh-huh.
Max's in North Philly over in Erie Avenue.
Okay.
And then you'll go to Jim's Steaks down South Philly, down on
Okay.
South Street.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Look,
the
okay, look here.
the Asterisk
Uh,
one is Ishkabibbles. That's on South Street as well. They're basically
Okay, well,
across the
look here.
street from each other.
Okay, so when we get
Yeah.
off this, you know what I'm saying? When we
Mhm.
get off here, I
We'll get it.
I need your email. I need
Okay.
your number.
We'll line it
Send this
up.
stuff
We'll
to
line
me.
it
Yeah,
up.
You know, I know. I'm for real.
Mr.
Y'all,
We got
y'all
it.
just don't
He
understand.
got all
Like
my info.
this. No, I'm for real. Like
We'll,
this is
we'll,
something. No, like yeah, I'm just telling y'all. Like this is something this is one of those things that I have wanted to do as a grown ass man. I
You're
want
gonna
to
get to
fly to
do it.
Philadelphia. I'm for real. I want to fly to Philadelphia on a
Take Spirit,
Friday.
man.
I want to. Nah, nigga, I fly Delta. I ain't flying them goddamn Spirit. Excuse me. I'm sorry. No, I'm
Take
not
Spirit,
flying the
man.
Spirit. But I'm going to Philadelphia. I want to go up there on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
My old lady stay the weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And hit. I want to be. That's what I want to do.
Yeah,
I want
don't
to
go
hit.
to Passangino's. Don't go to Passangino's. If you're gonna
Don't
get a
do
stop,
those, okay?
no. If you're gonna get a stop
Hey,
steak, go to
Okay.
Tony Luke's. But D'Alessandro's, Max's, and Jim's. Yeah,
Okay.
you
should he
can't go
get it?
wrong.
Should he try the chicken one too while he's
Chicken
up
cheese
there?
steak. I mean, he could try the chicken cheese steak. They got a piece of cheese steak. I mean, you can't go wrong, man.
Okay.
Okay. Well, like I said,
Brother,
when we'll get.
just bring you a new belt.
Okay. I go do some
Yeah.
one. I go do some 1-2 way backs and some sit ups for this.
Yeah,
I'll do that. But
Yeah.
like I said,
Wear some
I'm sorry,
sweatpants,
y'all.
bro.
there
No,
you go.
because you threw that in there. You said you from up there. Hey,
Yeah, I'm from up
I
Yeah.
gotta
I
have a
got you.
I gotta have a brother tell me what's the real for the real.
And we
So
Oh no,
we
I
got
got
some,
you.
and we got plenty of escorts up there to get you where you need to be.
Yeah,
okay, well, okay.
Red Zone can put a call in to some of the fam up there, and they'll make sure you get where you got to get.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to throw
No,
this
you
whole
fine.
thing off about the whole, but
Okay.
hey, that you know what? Like Barabbas, yeah, I don't know if y'all read y'all Bible, but Barabbas, when Jesus walked through, Barabbas said, "Hey, Jesus, holler at me." Hey, Barabbas he was a blind man sitting on the bench. I mean on the branch, and
Yeah.
hey, if you don't know and you don't ask somebody when they
There
can
you
tell
go.
you something, then you don't know. So I
There
got
you
some
go.
knowledge. So that's what I
So
want. Hey,
so
yeah, we'll figure that stuff out when we get off on
so
here,
tell
bro.
us about it. So tell us about Embiid,
All
Red
right,
Zone.
man.
What should they
Well,
do?
for one, Embiid, he's always hurt. I don't think he's motivated to play basketball in Philadelphia no more. I think he's really trying to find his way out while maintaining the contract that he signed, because he signed that super max deal and he's pretty much locked in. And he really don't have a way out. So he's playing an injury game. He's fatigued, the load management. And that's the problem. If I'm the Sixers, you try to load up on picks and you get a couple, marquee young guys that a team will give you, and you just you just build around Maxey, man. You build around Maxey and that other rookie that they've just signed, and you cut your
He's out for
losses
the
with
year, right?
Embiid, huh?
The rookie out for the year, right?
Oh, I don't know, man. I've been
Wait a minute.
watching
Who? What
football.
did you say? What did you say, Nard?
He
I
said
was
the
saying,
rookie's out for the year.
Well,
Yeah, I
Max.
mean,
Well, yeah,
no,
but
Maxey's not out for the year.
Max is not out. Max is out there
No,
playing. He's
yeah,
been
it's the
around a
other
couple
guy.
seasons too.
The other guy that
Yeah.
that I think they
Oh,
made a
you're talking about
small
the
forward.
young guy.
Yeah,
I
the
forget
young
his
guy.
name now, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. But he's
yeah,
been kind of out. I don't know how long he's gonna be out, but he
yeah.
kind of showed little flashes though.
Yeah,
Some
he
nice
did, and
young
that's what I'm
kid.
saying. You build
Hmm.
around that, and then you find you some shooters, man. I mean, the league is a 3-point shooting league anyway, man. You go ahead and find you
Yeah,
the best. You get a bunch of draft picks, and you just find the best 3-point
yeah,
shooters, man. And you just build that way. You can find big men. because the game is not a low post game anymore. So
Yeah, I
Embiid's
mean,
style of
it's only
play,
three.
although
It's only three post
Yeah,
players in the league.
yeah,
all you really want from your big men are guys that are rebounders,
hmm
Alley oop
post defend,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
post defenders. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? You want somebody that can get you some rebounds, defend the post, and like you say, some guys that can finish around the basket. But you don't, like you don't need guys that can, and it's like what I'm saying, for some of us older guys that see how the game has changed so much, you you get kind of sad, but like that is what it is. You don't,
yeah,
what I'm saying, like you don't need a guy that can
hey
just
man,
post up
clock the
and
middle of
score the
yeah
ball
the
anymore.
floor, man. So
At this
I
point,
mean, I
this is
would pack
Max's
up.
team.
Yeah, I would pack up Paul
yeah,
George and I would pack up Embiid and I would send both of them to I don't know what team that got some young studs, man. And hey, look, you find a general manager that think he's 2 players away from going to the championship, and you just figure it out and make it work.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
but you know
You
what?
and
saying
hopefully you could
cut your losses,
yeah,
before it's too late.
yeah, hopefully you could find a Brown or a Tatum in the draft, man. An
Yeah,
athletic,
But you know what the
kid that can
crazy thing
fly,
about this?
man.
But you
What?
know what the crazy thing about this, y'all, is like we saying that you don't need this, but the best player in the NBA is a
it's
fucking
Jokic.
center. Jokic,
Nikola
Jokic
Yeah,
Jokic.
is the Jokic is the best player in the NBA, and he can
he
do
is.
all the things that
And he
everything
shows
that we
up.
say that we don't need a center to do. He can do it, and then he can do 4 other things. He can pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like he can
But
be.
that's
He has
you
very
just hit
high
the
IQ.
see right. Y'all just hit the nail on the head. Nars said high IQ. Antoine, you said do more things like pass, and that's the difference with Jokic. He does play in the post, but he also can shoot a three. But he also is the
Hmm.
point guard for the team. He
Yeah,
actually is the point
He
guard
can
for
bring
the
up the
Nuggets.
ball up the court too.
He brings the ball up when he rebounds it. He is the
yeah.
point guard for that team, and
He can.
so
Yeah, he
that
can
is the
assist.
difference. Yeah, and he shows up every. You know what I'm saying? He shows up every night.
Yeah,
Unlike
Yeah,
Embiid, if Embiid showed up every night, it wouldn't even be an issue. But
yeah.
yeah.
I
that's
don't
the
think he
issue with
just
him.
motivated. I don't think he
Yeah,
he he got some of that Ben Simmons fairy dust sprinkled on him now. To
oh
where he
boy,
just don't believe he can win in Philly, man.
golly.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So here's
It ain't
here's
no,
here we
it
got.
ain't no call it. It ain't no fairy dust. It's a pixie dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
All
joker
right.
weak as well water.
Yeah, well, there you go. And hey, we got 2 topics left. All right,
All right.
and Philly just took one. This one's for you, Twan. LeBron's frustration in LA. What's going on here? Because I'm hearing now that LeBron and AD are saying that they're concerned that the Lakers cannot bring in more talent because they don't have enough. So this is a perfect question for you because I know you're a Laker fan and I'm a Laker fan. So I want you to handle this question here, and then I got one coming up for Nard after that.
Okay, well the thing is, that's the question that they want to put out in front of everybody. But the question really is like, okay, do you want to who you want to get rid of? Do you want to get rid of LeBron or AD? The answer is
Ooh,
simple.
AD.
AD.
No,
ooh.
no. As a Laker, you want to get rid of LeBron. LeBron is at
What?
the end, and listen to me when I say this. LeBron is if you want to fill your stadium up, if you want to do that kind of stuff, if you want to have the game on a Tuesday night in damn Cleveland and everybody show up to it, you want LeBron there. And I'm telling y'all this as a Laker fan. LeBron is as much as I respect LeBron. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go through it
Yeah.
quick. I respect LeBron for who he is and the things that he has brought to the game. But the man is 40 years old. He is not going to give me enough every single night to win a championship anymore. He's not. And the thing is, I think he's resounded that. I think he is resound to understanding like where he is in his statue or you know what I'm saying, where he is in the
Yeah, at this
NBA.
time in his career. Mm-hmm.
Yes. He understands where he is. If you're a Laker and you know and the one thing me and Mr. 411, we've had some of these talks a long time ago. Sometimes you have to make a hard decision. The only thing about this, you know, if you go back to Golden State last year with Klay Thompson, was it a hard decision for them to say, Klay, you know what, like we gotta let you go? Yeah, because Klay isn't on the level of LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna put none of that there. But LeBron James isn't gonna win you another championship being the focal point of the offense. He's not. He's 40 years old. He can't give you, you know what I'm saying? Like he can't give you that stuff every night. Not without like 4 or 5 all-stars around him. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was an all-star game, LeBron could do that then. But like the way the NBA is set up, if you took LeBron James and you put him on the Nuggets, or you put him on, you know what I'm saying, just a mediocre team, he's not gonna get you a championship. You know
Well,
what I'm
you said
saying?
mediocre, so not the Nuggets, but like you mean more like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know. You mean like Portland or Wizards
Yeah.
or
okay, well,
something in
no,
the
okay. If you okay, I'll take
without
away the word mediocre. If you put him on the Nuggets,
some.
if you put him
Well,
on
you
the
got
Nuggets,
Joker now.
yeah, okay. Well, let's just say, okay, we'll trade the Joker for LeBron.
Oh, okay, I got you now. Okay,
You know what I'm
I get
saying?
what you're saying.
We'll
Take Joker
trade.
off the swap them and then give the Nuggets roster to LeBron. No, they're not
He's
going
not
anywhere.
winning no championship, dog.
They're
No.
not even
He's
going
not.
nowhere. Yeah, I got you.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like as much as you might like LeBron James, he's not winning a championship with the Nuggets. The Joker might.
no. Well, yeah, and he did, and like the Joker did it without All Stars,
Yeah. And so
and that's the
and
point. Why
yeah,
the Lakers are
and yeah,
why is he
like you say,
frustrated when the Lakers have AD and
yeah, and
LeBron?
I'll get out of you know, like I said, I'll get out of the way with that. As far if you're going to be a Laker going, you know, not just 20, you know, 24, 25, but 25, 26, 26, 27, 27, 28. I want Anthony Davis as opposed to LeBron James.
Personally,
Well,
I don't want neither one of
I would
them.
just keep them both.
if you could get out of both and rebuild and just start from the ground up again, you could. I mean, there's nothing wrong, doing that either.
Yeah,
As a
yeah,
Laker fan, I'm good with that because
Yeah.
the Lakers have to get out of the. They were trying to
yes.
do
I'm
it.
good as a Laker fan.
Remember?
I'm good with yeah, I'm good with that because guess what? Yeah,
Yeah.
we could get a shitload of picks and we could get a shitload of money off our
Well,
cap.
outside of Shea Gilgeous Alexander, you really can't name nobody on OKC. But
Yeah.
as a team, look at how they built the team. If you look at the Denver Nuggets, even the Nuggets that won the championship, even the Nuggets this season, there's no All Stars on that team except for the Joker, and
Yeah.
they are 27-13 or something like that right now. And it's all about building your team, having the right players in place to do that. And right now, it just look, the Lakers got Bronny on there. You took another
The
roster spot there.
Bucks.
So to me, there's no reason to be complaining about anything when you force the team to bring in Bronny James. That's a roster spot.
The
So you
Bucks.
got what you
So,
want. You roll with it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And you work with it. I mean, it is
if
what
we're
it
go-
is at this
if
point.
we're going teams, look, the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you got Giannis, but like who else on that team is like
Before they brought
who?
Dame, it
Yeah, I
was
was about
just
to say they got Dame now.
good players. Before they brought Damian Lillard, it was just good
Yeah,
players.
but
Like
yeah, like you said, yeah, before they brought Dame, but like you know what I'm saying, like who else on that team was like we couldn't have him and not win a championship. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Nobody.
yeah, nobody.
Nobody,
Nobody.
Nobody.
I mean, everybody fit
nobody.
their role. Everybody
Yeah,
had a
The team
role.
that
right.
they had that won the
And
championship, everybody
Yeah,
was still there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
And
that's
then,
the
and
key.
yeah, and you're right. Everybody was still there. They had that. They won that championship. Everybody was
Hmm.
still there, and they still didn't do nothing later on.
yeah. Hey,
Right,
fellas, I'm gonna get
Boston,
off.
right.
you
I'm
know
gonna
what I'm saying?
kill,
Like,
man.
we got Boston right
Okay.
now.
All
All
right.
right.
We got
Later.
Boston right now.
Yeah. And so we
Tatum,
got and we
Tatum and Brown,
oh
and then who else?
okay. That I mean it's the rest of the team. And they built the team, they drafted their players and they built around them. And you know what I'm saying? And that's the formula. The formula is gone of trying to have the one hero type player. And again, this is not knocking LeBron. It's just that it's time to either give up the being the head guy and be more of a complimentary guy than it is to try to be the guy right now. Because if you look at it, look at how Russell Westbrook is playing in Denver. Now, if he was on the Lakers, people be talking about how awful he is. But he's flourishing in Denver. He was flourishing in Washington. He was flourishing like everywhere else. He was flourishing, but when he played, because of the role that LeBron has that takes, it takes away guys. Look at D'Angelo Russell. He just said on the press conference, he's playing free basketball. That that alone tells you everything you need to know. So I think they need to run the offense through AD. They need to run this franchise through him and point the arrow that direction so you can move forward. But last question for the night, guys, and this is for we're gonna point this towards Nard, and don't forget to check out the Nard report on all social media platforms. Nard, All Star Weekend is coming up. The East versus West players have been announced. We'll talk about that another day. The dunk contest, there's a couple names came up. I have no idea who's dunking. The 3-point contest, I don't know who's shooting threes. Help me understand as an OG.
All right.
Why are fans losing interest in this All Star Weekend?
Well, here's the reason why. Number one is because of the players that are in it. The dunk contest, you're grabbing a bunch of G League players like off the streets. Like you have John Moran, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Green, Aaron Gordon. Why can't they participate? Like why are we grabbing so many players off the street from the G League? 3-point
Yeah,
contest. Steph Curry. Why he isn't in the 3-point contest?
preach.
You want to know
Preach,
why? Because they
And then
got
preach.
guaranteed contracts, and they don't need that little bit of money that they giving away. That's why. They make more money doing show ups and appearances that weekend than they do shooting a ball or dunking a ball. It's just that simple.
My thing is, the NBA needs to have more of an influence on that. The NBA needs to be like, you know what? I know you are this, and I know you're that, but your ass need to be here.
It's
yeah.
I
called
mean,
guaranteed
And here's another
contracts.
thing. You know how every
guaranteed.
time we watch the dunk contest, everybody be messing up.
Yeah.
That's why the dunk
Everybody messing
contest.
up. Yeah. What's that, Nard?
Yep.
I was just saying how we watch the dunk contest. Everybody be missing and restarting over like 20 times.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, the
we're not built
format.
for this. And then the All Star game, they just out there for fun. I mean, it's no
Yeah,
longer
where's the
competitive.
right?
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm going to say, like, and guys, you know what I'm saying? I just want to hop in here and say that this again, me and Mr. 411, we've talked about this, a
Hey
lot
guys,
of
I'm
the
gonna jump off, man.
scenarios.
Y'all have a good evening.
All right,
Philly, have a
later.
good night,
All right,
brother.
y'all. All right.
All right.
Yeah, Philly. You know, last time we was on here, Philly had a damn a meeting
He had
that he
something to
had
do.
to have while he couldn't get over here. He just
Right, he had something to do.
yeah, he had something he had to do. So he might have had something he had to do.
Yeah. But what were you saying there, Twan, about the All Star game? You
You
saying
know,
that
like as far as like the way it was set up and everything, like it was the way I think it needs to be set up in the incentives for everybody. It needs to have more. Um, it needs to have more bearing on what happens during the season, and you know, even kind of like how the MLB has it set up. It's like, you know what? If the we don't care what the record is
Uh-huh.
during the All-Star game, if the West wins, they get home court. You know what I'm saying? They get home field advantage. You know what I'm saying? If we
Right.
don't care whoever, you know what I'm saying, like the East, it has to be something, man. It has to be. There has to be something, some kind of incentive. It has to be something to get these guys to participate and you know what I'm saying, like you were saying, like guaranteed contracts. Like if there's nothing monetary for a lot of these guys as far as being an incentive to do it, but like my thing is, you know, like when you're raising your kids, it's not always an incentive. It's all, you know what I'm saying, like it's a detriment. Guess what? If you know what I'm saying, like, okay, you know what? Let's just say, again, who's number one in the East right now? Is it like
Cleveland.
Cleveland or
Cleveland. Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, guess what? If you got some guys out here and you're doing this stuff and these guys don't help you, guess what? You're not gonna have home. You might have the best record in the damn NBA, but guess what? You're not gonna
Well,
have home court
well,
throughout the playoffs. Now,
you just hit something. You just hit something
is
for him.
that a screwed up ass way to make people do some stuff? Yes, it is. But guess what?
But they forced it on us. They forced this situation because they're not competing. And so I
Yeah,
like your idea of having
yeah,
the see. First of all, I like that they went back to East West. I like that they got rid of this. You draft this guy's a captain.
yeah,
He's a captain.
yeah,
You pick
yeah, yeah.
anybody.
That I do too.
Make
Yeah, yeah, I
create
do
the
too.
East versus West
Yeah,
rivalry. Keep their rivalry there. Make
yeah,
the East versus West winner have home court advantage. Now you have to play for something because your team could possibly be the team that's in the finals. So you want to
yes.
make sure you have home court because
And
game
the
seven.
guys that at 9 times out of 10, the guys that are in the home that are 9 times out of 10, the all stars are teams that are their position
Players
there.
from
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Yeah.
right.
And guess what? The who's the damn head coach of the All Star team? The coach of the
You,
team that
you
has the best record. And guess what?
right. He gonna want to try to get it.
Hey, guess what? I want to play y'all. Hey, I want y'all. Hey, guess what? I don't give a damn if Embiid might be 75 games out. Man, guess what? Your ass finna get out here and play. You know what I'm saying? But somebody finna
Or
do something for me.
or, or Brundage, what happens is if I'm the head coach of the Cavs, I may run some of my guys out there a little bit more than some of these guys. Like let's just say a guy like that makes the All Star team because he just gets all the votes. You might
No,
not play that much because your team probably ain't even in the playoff hunt. But I'm gonna make sure my guys do what they got to do to help us win this game.
yes,
So I might run my guys a little bit more. I think that is a great way to kind of force the issue to get some more competitive play in the actual All Star game. And then going back to the 3 point contest and the dunk contest, I would just allow the fans to at least vote for half of the field. So the
Yes, let the
fans
fans
can
vote who should be in the
let the fans
contest.
right. At least let the fans vote for half of the field. So at least you can, as a fan, you can help control some of it. So Steph Curry, you're going to be in the 3 point contest because I think the fans will vote you in. Clay Thompson will probably be in there. And then looking at Damian Lillard, he'll probably have to be in there. And then on the
Carl
dunk
Anthony Towns.
contest, you ne- Carl Towns can be another good one. But then on the dunk contest, you just name some, Nard. You name Jalen Green. You name John Morant, Zion.
Anthony
If
Edwards.
I see two or three of those guys, Edwards, if I see three, four of those guys in the dunk contest, I'm good. I'll tune in for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
I think they need to look at some ways of doing that to make it more interesting, man. But I do appreciate you being on, man, and all the other guys. Philly Rizzo, I know he had to run. Uh, he had another meeting at 10, and then Antoine for being on too, and of course you Nard for being on. And I want
Oh yeah.
everybody to check you out. I want everybody to check you out on the Nard report. Make sure everybody go to all social media platforms and check you out. The Nard Report. So make sure y'all check that guy out, man. He's doing good stuff out there on Instagram, on YouTube. Where else? You on TikTok too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and so is Mr. 411. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and we out here grinding, doing our thing. Twan, we was just talking about as we was wrapping it up, that if the fans can vote for half the field, that's my suggestion. Half of the dunk field and half of the 3-point field. Let the fans vote for half of them, and the league figure out the other half. I think that's a good compromise, and I think that would bring more interest to the contest for the weekend.
It would, and the other thing that if we go back to my man Michael Jeffrey Jordan said, money
Yeah,
money is a motivator. if
it is.
if you can get something where it is a and think about the NBA, you got a lot of money, man. You got a lot of money. If you want this thing to be where you want it to be, you can make the financial benefits of it. Like I said, even if it's some of the guys that may not be some of the mainstream people, but uh, I think with some of the things we were saying, like, hey, have a hey, let's have a national contest. Let's get some of the best. We'll go out and we'll pick some dunkers from everywhere. Not just, what I'm saying, not just guys that are NBA guys. Hey, let's make it a pro-am kind of thing and get out here. And you know what? Guess what? Some of these guys that are out here dunking, doing some of this stuff, and they're not making the NBA money, they're not doing all this stuff. When the NBA guys get shown up, that tugs on your prize strings a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Yeah, you trying to force
you
the
lose
issue?
to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you might lose this dunk contest to a nobody somewhere, but he has, especially the way the world is set up now, he might have a big social media following, a big YouTube following, and that kind of stuff. That's like for me, I think that's one of the things that they need to do, as far as like, especially like the dunk contest or even the three. Like, hey, look, let's pitch some pro am kind of situations set up, and let people feel like they're involved in it.
Hmm.
And like you say, the same way, hey, let's let the voting do some of this stuff. But especially the dunk contest, we see, like I said, we see a lot of the guys out here on YouTube and some of this stuff that where um they're not gonna be real like NBA dunkers. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna make it to the NBA. But man, they
Yeah.
have some talent, you know what I'm saying? They have talent. And you tap into that, tap into it, and go out here. We got Mac
Do
McClung,
something.
who is they stroll him out every.
So, well, we just lost him, but I get what he's saying. Just kind of try to spice things up a little bit. But ultimately, if the NBA guys would just do what they're supposed to do, it wouldn't be an issue. But no, anything you want to close out with before we go?
Yeah. I feel like ever since after 2019, after COVID, All Star has been pretty boring. Like back in the day, before 2019, it used to be lit. Like they were going at it.
Yeah,
I'm talking about everything:
yeah,
dunk, shooting contest, skills challenge.
yeah. I don't know what it is, man. It's just like it's just if they don't show the interest, then why would the fans? And see that's where that's where it kind of hurts. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how many times are we gonna sit here and every year you waiting for certain players to be like, oh, I'm gonna get in the dunk contest, or certain players
It's
to
like we see
join
the
get in the
same
three
players
point
every year.
contest. Yeah, when are we gonna get that announcement of Zion Williamson in the dunk contest, or John Morant? I mean, don't just tease us during the season doing what you're doing. Be in the thing. LaMelo Ball, 3-point contest skill competition. I mean, we want to see the stars showcase skills, and that's when you can do that in these skill competitions, 3-point shootouts, dunk contests, all-star game. That's what it's about. And if you get back to that, you don't have to come up with a bunch of stuff. And that's where I'm at with it. But hey man, we're gonna roll out. I know we've been here since for a little bit, and so I appreciate Antoine being on and Philly Red Zone and Spivey and yourself, man. So we're gonna wrap it up and get out of here for the night.
Yes, sir.
All right, but look, I appreciate everybody tuning in for this, and like I said, I appreciate you guys, and we'll be out here on the other side. Hey, let me know when you
Well,
need me to be on, man. I'll come join your show, bro.
all right, for sure.
All right,
All right.
all right, then we out of here.
All right, you too.